Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Now then, folks, happy Monday to you. No news is good news, they say. Well, it doesn't bloody feel like it. Another day. Oh, another lack of dollar on the Leeds United front. I've been ultra positive and not very down about the movements or lack of movements in the transfer window by our club, Leeds United. And I'm still okay. This is a bit of a video to say my expectations of the week. It's a week that I hope to fly by because it's a Content Creators Cup on Sunday and I can't wait for that game. I cannot wait. Put Monday off because I'll need it to rest the legs. We have a few sherbets afterwards as well with a gang, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I do have expectations this week, and if they aren't fulfilled, not that they give two shits what I think, but I think as a fan base, we're expecting whether you deem it big things this week or just some things this week. I don't think that's unfair to say. I'm going to sort of list what I hope to happen, what I think's realistic to happen this week, and we'll see how the land lies come the end of the week. So I think I've been expecting today, to be fair, an announcement on Dan James' contract renewal. I'm hoping that gets done this week. That may be a nice little thing to put out there into the media to sort of give Leeds something to cling on to, the fan base. It's not a signing, no, but I think he only has a year left in his deal, as Dan James. So it's a nice little nugget to give the fans if there isn't no transfer news. I don't think it's gonna. It might fall on deaf ears. Don't get me wrong, but it'd be positive news to hear Dan James has a new deal, especially if it's a decent deal for him, 3 or 4 year contract. I'd expect a 3 year. I don't know if it could be a 4 year deal for Dan James. You'd expect his money to go up. Is it a bit of a gamble? Some would say it is, to offer him a big juicy contract going into the Premier League. But if he had a couple of years left in his deal, you could maybe see him ride it out for a year and see how he goes in the Prem, with it being a massive step up. But they didn't fancy Firpo for that year in the Prem. Hence, for a couple of years in the Prem, hence why they haven't offered him a new deal, and they were quite happy to part ways with him, or wouldn't offer him the deal that he wanted, should I say. I think there was some sort of deal on the table, but I think it was on reduced terms, probably because they didn't back him long term as a left back option for Leeds United in the Prem. Be interesting to see, if Dan James does sign that contract. I got told earlier that it possibly will be today or tomorrow. So touch wood, fingers crossed. Is one of my favourite players. I'm all about the redemption arc. I'm all about the underdog. And Dan James's road at Leeds United has not been straightforward. It's been quite a bumpy road. And last 2 seasons, he's come good. He's been one of our most threatening players, one of our best players, and probably one of the most professional players in the team. And as he enters that stage of his career now, where he's now a senior sort of figure, it's a great example, a role model, I think, for the young ones coming through to never give up. So I hope, numero uno, that gets done sharpish. I expect that this week. I do. There's no need for that to rumble on. Just get that deal done. Number 2, I expect a new away kit to come out this week. I think the fact that Leeds are playing Scum in Stockholm on Saturday the 19th of July, I would be shocked if that doesn't come out this week. Also, I've heard from a friend as well that could be coming out on Thursday to buy, with maybe some promo stuff, and maybe announcing it maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. That could just be false information, but yeah, I've heard a few people mention that now, that it should come out this week, which I think would be a great sort of marketing ploy by Leeds United to get that out in time for Leeds fans to buy that ahead of going out to Stockholm for the Scum friendly. So yeah, I'm really intrigued to see what that away kit looks like. We've seen rumours of what it's supposed to look like. going to be a take on the early 2000s Strongbow blue away kit. Apparently, that I always think of Mark Viduka when I think of that kit. Beautiful kit. I hope it is that. I've seen mock-ups of it, like I say, and similarities to it. The ones I've seen I aren't massively keen on, but I think if it's something like the one we all remember from our youths, depending on your age, I think it will be a big seller. I would love one of the kits the way or the third kit to have the smiley badge. It looks like we're going away from the yellow kit. It looks like it was blue and then black for the third kit. If rumours are true, I would like them to stick to that smiley badge maybe on that third kit. I think to remove a yellow kit seems daft when you think of how well it sold last season, but fair enough. But I think to remove the yellow kit and the smiley badge when it was literally the best kit we've had in years in terms of sales, it'd be a bit daft. But I am a big fan of the away kit at Leeds United pretty much every year. The third kit sometimes is, yeah, I wasn't a fan of the fruit pastel one, let's put it that way, but or the fruit salad one, should I say. But yeah, I don't tend to buy the home one. The third kit, the away kit's usually, I say that I've got this one, look, but this was bought for me. But usually the away kit's what I go for, so I'm really excited for that. So that's number 2. I expect the release of the new kit, some sort of official announcement showing of what it is, even if it isn't on sale by the back end of the week. But I do expect that's away kit to be sort of out there in the ether for us to look at, enjoy, and hopefully purchase. And then moving up number 3, simple, the big one that everybody wants. Dan James signing would be great. The away kit coming out would be brilliant. But everybody wants signings, God damn it. Where are the signings? Again, it's gone very, very quiet. The quiet is deafening, to be fair. I'm sort of still in a really good headspace just because I trust the 49ers. And the more it goes on, come here, Pops. What are you doing? Come here. Whoa. The joys. Piper, say hi, everyone. Hey, Piper. So the more it goes on, the worse it feels. I do think the fact that we're involved with Rangers now, our ownership group, or proportion of that, it's going to put doubts in certain fans' minds, thinking we're putting all this exit Rangers basket and doing Europe and all this blah blah. That's not the case at all for me. The stadium expansion of Ellen Road and upgrade on Ellen Road, is that? I don't think so. Again, I think it's 2 separate pots of money. The Rangers takeover and what's happening up there won't affect anything that happens at Leeds United. If anything, we're the cash cow, let's be fair, whether in Europe or not. Premier League football, Leeds United has a far superior ceiling than what Rangers does, in my opinion, and I think most people's opinion. And the stadium developments, again, it's a separate pot of money. You've got to look at it from, their point of view. As a fan, we're worried that if we don't do right business, we'll go down. I don't foresee a situation where the 49ers don't back Farker and the squad to give us a fighting chance of staying up, or more than a fighting chance to stay up, when you consider the plans they've submitted for the stadium, all the bits we've seen. It looks amazing. The money that will cost to do, yes, I understand people's concern, but that stadium, we may as well not bother if we're going to be a championship outfit. It doesn't matter if we're a championship outfit, does it? It really doesn't. The way they want the club to go forward and where we want to be, and they'll have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan where they want Leeds to be, and we know where that is. It's towards top end of that Premier League table. That only happens with success on the pitch, obviously, and that only happens with bringing in the right team. And they've done it last 2 seasons. We've had a great squad. It's a lot more difficult now, granted. With we're having a fight with Premier League sides for players. We won't put in certain player demands in contracts like another team may gamble on. We won't do that. We've been there and been burnt, so that's a factor. I don't go ahead with the notion of they haven't got the money. They don't about Farker. Farker's got no pull. I think there's a lot of stuff that gets said, and depending how you feel, depending what side, what side of the fence you sit on, you can put credence to your thoughts and believe the truth. But I don't think we've missed out on a few targets because Farker's not got the pull. I don't believe that for 1 second. I think Leeds United itself's got a massive pull, more pull than half the Premier League, I would suggest. But there's a lot of factors in it. I also look at the other sides around us that we've been heavily focused on with the media. Your Sunderlands and your Burnleys and other sides, and I just think fair play on them for trying to improve their squad, doing what we feel we should be doing. But has it really been that much of a poor start to the window? I may get pelters for this, but I don't believe it has. Like I say, I've said a few times now, I think if we'd have made Solomon permanent, which I believe we tried to do, 100%, I feel like we tried to do. I think if we'd have made Solomon permanent early in the window and we had the 4 we've currently got, everyone will be pleased where we are at the minute. So for me, we won Solomon signing away, which is an easy off-the-cuff remark to make because that Solomon signing is a flair player, an exciting player, whether it's him or someone else, an expensive player potentially. And obviously a starting winger, or someone to rival Ramazani would prick your ears up if we were to sign one tomorrow. So I understand that's, as a statement to say, of course we're missing a player like that, But we did try for Solomon. It didn't happen. Maybe it'll happen later in the window. But if we had him, I don't think there'd be any panic. I think because we brought in 4 and 2 look like squad players, that's really worrying the fan base. Like I say, I expect a Dan James renewal this week. I expect an away kit reveal, or it'll be out there for us to purchase this week. I expect them 2 things, but ultimately we have to bring signings in this week too. Looking at it, Longstaff's gone quiet. Does that mean something's happening? Stack, I heard all about him for a fair few days now. Has that gone quiet for a reason that something's happening in the background? I think we need to buy a central midfielder this week, at least one of, and we need to be looking at that left wing spot now. I think that needs, somebody's bringing in that spot, because the longer it goes on, you start worrying about Jack Harrison. You start worrying about maybe Brendan Aronson being an option out left, which I won't mind, but not as first or second choice, obviously. These questions start to multiply and put a bit of paranoia in our heads as Leeds fans. So that's what I'd like. I'd like a central midfielder this week and a left winger. I expect at least one signing through door come end of week. Is that enough? Maybe not. I think his defence is somewhat like. Goalkeeper's obviously a massive problem. Milankovic-Savic looks like he's off, not to Leeds United. Napoli, last I heard, that might have changed, but it looks like we've missed out on Savic. Fair enough, we move on. There's no panic there in goalkeeper situation for me. There's no panic at all. Many, many weeks left at window. That's a last. It's one of the most vital positions for Leeds United, but one of the last ones we can target. Darlow can play on Saturday for me. Maybe he'll play Mez. We'll have to see. If he plays Mez, it'll start panic stations again for the fan base that we're going to play him. But I don't think that'll happen going into the season. We have a lot of players to offload. Maybe we've got to offload your Joffeys, your Greenwoods, your Milliers, maybe your Josephs first. Maybe there's a few players to go out there first before we can bring more in. I don't know. But let's not panic. Let's give it another 4 or 5 days and see where we are come end of Friday. Maybe by that point I'll be panicking. I don't know. But yeah, I expect quite a lot to happen in the coming days. It's gone quiet, which usually means something is going to happen. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Have a great week, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
Here we go with Leeds United. We're gonna give the boys a hand. Stand up and sing for Leeds United. They are the greatest in the land. Every day we're all gonna say we love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Everywhere we're gonna be there. We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Marching on together, we're gonna see you win. Na 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 na. We are so proud. We shout it out loud. We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. We've been through it all together, and we've had our ups and downs. You pass and down. We're gonna stay with you for